What's up, gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to get into the spicy topic of why your race or height is not the problem. It is not why you are struggling to date highly attractive women overseas, and we are going to get into what the actual problem is. Now, this is kind of part two to a previous video that I made talking about whether women are attracted to black men or not, and you can check out that video if you would like. But with all that said, let's get into the topic of this video. But first, smash the like button. Costs you nothing, it means the world to me, it really helps with the algorithm. So let's go ahead and get on to it. So the reason it isn't your race or height is because there are people with your race or your height that are doing well all over the world. Now, I'm not saying these things aren't factors. Yes, they are factors. For example, I have a whole video on how race affects dating in Thailand. So, for example, in Thailand, white men in general can still punch way above their weight class solely on the strength of them being white, whereas a black person really can't do that. You're going to have a lot more status and looks in order to punch up a weight class or two. But a guy who's a 5 in the United States could probably bag a 9 or even a 10 in Thailand. Whereas if you're a black dude who's a 5, the best you're probably going to be able to do is probably a 7 or maybe 7.5. You're not going to touch those 8s, 9s, or 10s. But with that said, even in a place like Thailand, it's becoming more competitive. So realistically, what I just said is probably what it was like 5 to 10 years ago. Now that 5 is probably going to be able to get an 8, 8.5, 9 at best if he is just really good, top of his game, social circle, rocking it. And obviously, as it pertains to height, yes, I'm sure it probably makes a difference. I'm sure it factors in depending on where you are in the world and obviously just how short you are. Like obviously, if you are a dwarf or what may have you, yes, I'm sure that is going to be a pretty large barrier, but most of you are not going to be dwarfs. The shortest person on this channel is probably going to be 5'3", 5'4", and if you go to a place in like Asia, for example, you're probably not that much shorter than the rest of people, and most women aren't going to be taller than you. And in many countries outside the US and Western countries like Canada and Australia, many women aren't going to care about dating someone shorter than them. And while we're on this topic, if you go to a place like Poland, or even Guadalajara, or Brazil, or even the Philippines, there are still white dudes struggling because they don't meet the things that I'm going to share with you in this video. But here's the thing, since they're white, they can't blame it on race. So they have to get to the actual crux of the problem. Whereas black people and short guys and other races, not just black people, they tend to run to, oh, it's because I'm black. Oh, it's because I'm this. Oh, it's because I'm that. As a matter of fact, while we're on this topic, let me tell you a quick story. I have a Patreon where we do live Q&A calls, and recently I did a call and there are a couple Asian gentlemen in there. And one of them was talking about how they're struggling because they are Asian, and another Asian guy who is in there isn't struggling at all. He's doing really well for himself. And I started talking to the guy who was complaining about being Asian, and he said, yeah, one of my good friends is always telling me, I hate being Asian makes it a lot more difficult, Asian this, Asian that, blah, blah, blah. And the other guy was telling him, dude, you don't want to be around people who reinforce that belief that being Asian is a bad thing or makes it more difficult, because it's not true, and I'm living proof of that. And I interjected and I told this guy he needs to change his friend circle to people who aren't doom and gloom, woe is me kind of thinking, because your perception and your beliefs become your reality. So the best thing this guy could do is spend more time with this guy. That way this guy's beliefs, mannerisms are imparted into this guy's mentality. And I'm sure that change by itself would drastically alter his dating life. And so one of the most important things you can do is, if you do truly believe that the color of your skin or the height or these other things that you can't control are just destroying your life, well, I think you need to change your friend circle. Get around people who are like-minded and believe in abundance and success, which you can do by joining the Patreon. Shout out to the Patreon, smooth little plug there. And so that's one major change you could make. And I would stop watching all of this doom and gloom type content. Because here's another thing. You have to realize dating is a marketplace. Dating is an economy. You are a product. And you need to market and present, aka sell yourself, in a certain manner if you want to have success. And so I would challenge you, if you are truly struggling and you truly think it is your height or the color of your skin, to rate yourself in a bunch of different categories in life. And what makes you stand out in comparison to the other men that this woman likely has access to? Because you have to think, these women who have options are going to take the best option, right? So what makes you the best option? And so if this woman was to list out her dream guy, how many of those boxes would you tick? And this is why it grinds my gears. Because I see people say, oh, it's because I'm this color. Oh, it's because I'm this. Oh, it's because I'm short. When in reality, they're fat, they're broke, they have no social skills, no social awareness, and you dress like your mother still dresses you like you're a little child. Or God forbid, you're sagging your pants below your knees. And so when it's a short person or it's a person of color, they always go, oh, it's because I'm short. Oh, it's because they're racist or what may have you. And 9 times out of 10, when I see these people, no, it's because you are round like a basketball. You're shaped like a penguin. Or you dress like a child and behave like an idiot. Or the way you're approaching and talking to women is like you've never communicated with a woman before in your life. So with all that said, here's what you can do. And in my opinion, this is what you strongly should do. If you have friends that are imparting negative self-belief and negative self-talk into you, then you need to eliminate them from your life and surround yourself with people who are positive, who encourage you, and who are not stuck in the doom and gloom mindset. This means you should also probably start watching different content that doesn't reinforce your negative self-talk and self-thoughts. Once again, I'm gonna plug the Patreon. Great way to do that is by joining my Patreon community, because we are all positive guys who are about getting our money, having a good mindset, and traveling and dating abroad. Which brings me to the next thing, which I just briefly touched on here. You gotta get your money right. I can't tell you enough how important it is for you to have your money right. Now, I think it should be obvious why your money needs to be right, but it's going to lead to a lot of positive changes. It's going to help you improve your status. It's going to help you get access to higher quality women. It's going to help you dress better. It's going to help you look better. And when I say access to higher quality women, I don't mean professional service type things. There are social events, for instance, that you can go to build a social circle, or you'll be able to go to nicer bars and clubs that not everyone can get into. And guess what? That's where the high quality women are, because they are looking for high quality men. And high quality men aren't going to be in the ghetto. They aren't going to be in the clubs in the ghetto. They're going to be in the places that have a barrier to entry. And so that barrier to entry ensures that the men in that club are going to be high quality men, or men in that social event are going to be high quality men. And so that's how money gets you access to higher quality people. And I'm not just talking women. I'm talking men too, because you want high quality men in your social circle, because they're going to help you do the right things, get your money right. They're going to help you move and shake in a different way so that you can have a better life. And then, as I previously touched on with what money allows you to do, There are other things that you don't need money for. Get your ass in the gym. Don't have the body of a penguin. Keep up your appearance. Get your hair cut. Shave your beard. Dress nicely. You don't need to wear Tom Ford and Gucci and stuff like that. You can just get clothes that look good and fit you properly. Work on your social skills. Because I promise you, whenever I see a short guy or a person of color who complains, they are lacking in one or most likely multiple of these areas. Because I'm pretty damn sure if you find me a person of color or a short guy who's well-dressed, well-spoken, well-educated, has their money right, takes care of themselves, has a social circle, they're not going to be struggling in their dating life. And if you can find that guy for me, please do so. And then I will be more than happy to recant some of the things that I said in this video. But I'd even say that just because there's one of them in a planet of 6 billion people doesn't mean it proves the hypothesis of this video wrong. So like I said, your race and your height isn't the problem. You are the problem. And if you don't want to be the problem anymore, focus on your life, take control of the things that you can take control of, and I'm sure your situation will change. Now, thank you for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. If you disagree, leave any comments down below. If you agree, leave comments down below. Or if you can find the guy who fits all the criteria that I laid out and he's still struggling in his dating life, leave that person down below in the comments because I would love to see it. Because I truly don't think it exists. And I understand many of you aren't going to want to do these things because it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes a massive shift in your own belief system, which many men are not willing to do because many men are weak-minded and lazy. Which means those of you who are watching this video and are willing to do the things that I talk about, you are going to easily be able to become part of that 1% of truly high value men. So that's going to wrap up this video, and as always, peace, much love.